Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be looking at my 100-day project and mixing mark making with some vintage paper dolls. So I'm starting off in my junk journal. I've got these two little pages in my book, one bigger page and one little page. And I am just going through and mixing some paint on them. So you can see they're pretty rough and ready. They've got stuff on them from previous paint jobs. But that's okay. I don't mind there's some green peeping through. It's all going to be blended together in the end. So the colours I'm using are Sedona, eggplant and sand, I think, which is an unusual colour combination for me, but I actually quite like it. I do use warm colours a lot, but I don't tend to use these earthy warm colours, but when I use them I wonder why I don't, because I really do like the richness that it gives. And if you do try this colour combination, adding a little bit of gold into it is just stunning. So if you would like a lovely combination, I'd certainly suggest this one. So I'm starting off after I've finished painting by adding some mark making stamps, and you can see I'm being pretty rough and ready with how I'm stamping it on. I think these ones are old. No, they're not. I think the circles are from Tracy Scott from Paper Artsy. The little dots here have fast become my favourite stamp. That's from Art by Marlene with her old mark making set that she had, but the beautiful little dots are just fantastic, particularly at the moment because I don't have the control in my hand to make really fine dots. I'm finding being able to stamp them out has been perfect. So I decided I wanted to get some big drips happening down my page too, so I just used some of my white acrylic ink to drip it down the page. If you've got gloss spray, that would work. If you didn't have inks, you could make your white acrylic paint a little bit more fluid and drip that down the page. You may find it's not quite as opaque as using an ink, but you'll still get a beautiful effect on it. And if you had gold ink, that would look stunning too. So I don't know if I actually end up using gold on this. No, black. Why do what you're thinking? So I'm now getting out my my fan brush to make my dots and dashes and splatter on my page. I find usually using a fan brush is a really great way for me to make random splatter on my page. I used to have my favorite fan brush, but my children found it and broke it. So this is my replacement one. I haven't quite killed it enough for it to be as perfect as the last one, but it's slowly getting there, which is lovely. Because I had extra ink left in my dish, I'm now going in with a fine paintbrush and making some larger dots and going over my circles at the top. And I suppose it seems a little bit redundant going over those white circles again with black, but what I find is that it almost acts kind of like a highlight, I suppose, on the circles. It makes them pop off the page a little bit more. I also added some other random circles on my page too, just because I had extra ink on my palette. So, you know, if you've got it, you might as well use it up. It also replicates the circles I stamped in the background. I'm having a real problem with my words today. So I do have my gold out now, and you can see that I'm splattering that on as well. And for those of you following my broken wrist cast story, I had a perfectly clean cast up until doing this page, where I managed to get black ink splattered all over it. So it started to look very artistic after this little exercise. You can also see with the gold ink, I got a little bit more heavy-handed with it, and it's actually got some sort of lines where the ink sort of dripped off more in one and joined up together. But again, it's very organic on the page and it kind of ties in, so I wasn't all that worried about it. One thing you do need to make sure of is that your ink is pretty dry before you start gluing or spreading anything out, because it will spread. Good thing is it doesn't take very long to dry, which is a real bonus. and you can get on with your work pretty quickly. If you want to, you can always get some paper towel and sort of pat stuff off in the background, like I did with the white ink, but you run the risk, which is what I did with the white ink, of some of that ink coming off with it. So just be aware that might happen, but it's not a big deal. It just adds to the interest in the background. So now I'm sort of building up my collage. These are the paper doll images from Tim Holtz, and it's also another bits and pieces pack, ephemera pack. It had lots of circles and time clocks and gears and speedos and stuff in the pack. I'm honestly not 100% sure what the name of it was, but it's really, really handy for putting behind people. I love putting it behind sort of figures. You can kind of have them as, you know, steampunky type halos on a page. So I just liked it, but I loved having that circle image behind my man because it replicated the circles in the background as well. So repeating shapes on a page can be really important to sort of how it all plays together. Now going in with my Stabilo All Pencil and drawing around my text that I put across the page. So I put that in, that was sort of to ground my man, so he wasn't floating in midair, to give him something to sit on. And I really liked how the text took on the Stabilo pencil, so I decided to actually continue to spread it out. So I made the text almost take on a grey tone. One of the final things that I'm doing also is going around the outside of the man with the Stabilo All Pencil to give him a little bit of a shadow, to again pop him out from the background. It's really, really subtle, but in the close-up you will notice it a little bit more. So I find it's a really good thing to do with any cutout piece or focal image that you have on your page, is to just give them a little bit of a shadow to pop them out. The strange thing that happened is again a Tim Holtz quote chip, which I think comes from a Halloween pack. So they're awesome to have, and one of my little tips is to take it off the chip and just peel off and stick it onto your page, and then your pages won't be quite as bulky. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's a really quick and easy page to do. You get lots of mess and drips and fun, but it's pretty easy one to replicate, and I'd highly encourage you to have a go in making your own abstracty background. Until next time, bye for now.